What's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to be doing a demonstration of Baby Audio's latest plugin, Parallel Aggressor. It's a parallel processing tool that combines compression and saturation to give your tracks a lot of impact and presence. Baby Audio has been kind enough to give me a copy of Parallel Aggressor for this demonstration. So let's head over to the computer and check out Parallel Aggressor. Alright, here we are in Pro Tools, and I have a song I did with a buddy a while back that kind of has a mellow neo-soul vibe. And I'm hoping we can use Parallel Aggressor to really punch up the drums and the bass. So let's give it a listen. Some kind of nice mellow, Steely Dan neo-soul vibes. When I was playing around with Parallel Aggressor, I found that it really shines on drums and bass. It gives you some really aggressive compression and some nice saturation that, when used in parallel, yield really good effects with transient heavy stuff like drums. I've got a bit of a rough mix going on the drum track, so let's see how it sounds without any parallel processing. It's got a nice tight sound to it, but once we get Parallel Aggressor in the mix, it's going to take it to a whole new level. Parallel Aggressor has a really clean interface, and it makes it super easy to work with. Also, I like that you can, change the color up depending on the vibe. And I'm liking this light color. Using it is pretty simple. You have the three levels that you mix together: your spank level, which is your compression, and your heat level, which is going to control saturation and the overall dry mix. And within each side of the plugin, you have some different characteristics that you can add, such as boosting your saturation and preserving the low end or filtering out some high end. Similarly, with spank, you can add more punch to your drums or extra clicky smack if you want. Also, the plugin has an auto gain feature, which is really handy, so you don't have to worry about clipping your bus or messing with the output level too much. You can basically just move these faders around until you get it sounding the way you want to, which is really nice. One less thing to worry about. So, let's get it rocking. I like to start with the spank section of the plugin so I can dial in my compression. So as you can see, it's already lending a ton of impact to those drums. Alright, let's try out some of these characteristics and see what we can get going. Ooh, extra punch indeed. Ooh, man, listen to that snare. Really going to work on that snare, giving it some sustain and a lot of impact. Low preserve, also very handy when you're working with stuff like kick drums and bass. I like to keep that low end in there, so this is a setting that I usually leave on. And in this case, I think I'm just going to go with extra smack and low preserve. I also really like the meters this plugin has. It's super modern and sleek looking. It's definitely a nice change of pace from your standard meter. Alright. I'm liking how it sounds with a lot of spank, and it might sound a little over compressed, but you have to keep in mind that you're going to be using this in parallel. This is going to be blended in with the normal mix to add some extra attack. Alright, let's head over to the heat section. Alright. So I'm really liking the tone setting and also low preserve. With saturation, I generally like to keep it pretty minimal. I just want to hear a little bit of distortion on the track. I don't really like to destroy stuff with saturation. Now we're going to unsolo everything and start playing with these levels. First, I'm going to turn down the heat level and the spank level, and then back off the dry level a little bit to give it, some room to breathe. All right, I'm digging how that sounds. All right, let's A/B it real quick and hear what it's doing on our drums. And that is sounding great. It's giving it a lot of presence and also a lot of sustain. One thing I like about aggressive compression, especially when you're working with real drums, is you get more sustain out of the drums, but you can also kind of turn up the room sound and give the drums a little bit of a more roomy feel. They sound a little less sterile when I engage the plugin. Killer. All right. Let's unsolo all this and check this thing out on bass. Bass is one of those instruments where I like to really go to town with the compression. Right now it's sounding like this. All I have running is just a stock compressor. And as you can see, it's not doing a lot. You know, it's smoothing stuff over a little bit. But let's see what we can get going with Parallel Aggressor. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing. And, you know, let's try out a different UI. I'm liking what Punch is doing on bass. Extra Smack makes it sound a little bit clicky, but Punch is, you know, processing the transients in the way I like. You can really hear, you know, each pluck of the string. All right, let's check out some saturation. Gonna turn low preserve back on again. And again, I'm a fan of that tone preset. Just, you know, really subtle, but adding a little bit of warmth and body to that bass. All right, let's get it all blended together. Duck, spank, and heat. Turn down my dry level just a bit. And let's blend them together. All right, let's bypass it and see what it's doing. It sounds a little more full, and I think that the extra punch setting on bass processes those bass transients in a really tasteful way. It's pretty transparent. It doesn't just sound like it's completely smashed with compression, but it's giving it the weight and the extra presence it needs. All right, let's check out the mix without Parallel Aggressor on the drum bus and the bass, and then with, and we'll see how it sounds. Nice. Bass is super present, and drums have a ton of character. And you know, while we're at it, let's spice up the keys a little bit with another go-to plugin of mine, Baby Audio's Super VHS. With the Fender Rhodes, I love kicking the Magic setting on and adding a little bit of drift. And I bet this is going to sound great with our parallel compressed drums. Oh yeah. Really liking what Parallel Aggressor did to the drums and to the bass. It gave him a lot of character, impact, and presence within the mix. Overall, it's another home run from Baby Audio. These guys have just been super consistent, coming out with awesome looking, awesome sounding plugins that always have a ton of functionality and give you a lot of freedom to kind of blend the different features of the plugin together. If you want to check out Parallel Aggressor, the link is in the description, along with another video I did for Super VHS, the plugin I used on the Rhodes patch. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, stay tuned for more audio and music related content. Until next time, peace.